Welcome to another episode of Pcar Talk. Yep. We are at Porsche of Tampa once again, our home away from home. Thank you, Reeves, for supplying this vehicle. We have a 2019 Porsche Cayenne Hybrid.
Yep.
E-Hybrid. We're going to knock that out today. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see all the great Porsche content that's coming from us. Aaron, go ahead and hit the intro music, and then we'll get this baby rolling.
Let's get it.
Welcome to the channel. Thank you guys for joining us. We are in the 2019 Cayenne E-Hybrid. And Aaron, tell us a little bit about it. What are we doing on horsepower?
About 455 horsepower, so it's a little bit above what a Cayenne S would be. And then a lot more torque, 516 foot-pounds of torque.
Beast, yeah. Right? Beast mode. And this thing looks awesome too. It's in this great like granite gray exterior.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about, I don't know if you guys know this, and you will see it in the video. Aaron can cut to it in a little bit when we talk about it, but it has acid green touches because it's an e-hybrid, which really kind of makes this pop a lot. It kind of gives you that boom, you know, the brake calibers are acid green, you know, it's got this, it's just got that flair to it. It's like really cool.
And it carries it into the interiors, you'll see too, like with the little indicators, all the indices for the gauges and the chrono pack, and you see the little acid green touches here and there.
Yeah. So it's got 22-inch sport design wheels on it.
Yep.
Another thing Aaron mentioned offline, which was really, really cool and good, is this is a bargain buy.
Yeah.
Right?
It really is. It's, I mean...
I know that sounds pretentious, but like we did a Cayenne S earlier, and that one was at 109 base before options, and then the way we drove it, I think spec'd out was what, like 130-ish? And this one, base is 97. And the way it's spec'd, it's 97. So, and I think, don't quote me on this, I didn't ask the dealership, but I know there's still, since it's kind of a hybrid, I don't know if there's any kind of kickbacks or anything like that. Yeah, you might be able to get a little something still. So it may be even less than that. So, interesting thing about that is this comes in less than 100. Again, I know that sounds pretentious, but this is a lot of car. Like Aaron mentioned, 455 horsepower, 516 foot-pounds. That's huge. That's monstrous. So let's go ahead and get it on the road. Let's ride. Let's see how we feel about it and talk a little bit about it, and let's get rolling. So this being a hybrid, what's claimed MPG on this?
Well, for the gas side of it, the gas only is 22.
Okay.
But since we're in an e-hybrid, it's talking 46.
That's impressive for this behemoth, right?
Yeah. That is just crazily impressive for how big this thing is, and getting, I mean...
And like when we driven the other e-hybrids, as you guys know, this thing can regenerate power too with braking, hard braking. It'll scavenge power back. Yep. So the nice thing about that is if you're on full battery, you can wear it down some and then get it back.
Regenerative braking, and you have what I believe is like 30 miles of range as well, like the other e-hybrids.
It's got some shove. Took it out of manual mode because I just wanted to see what it would do on its own.
The power delivery feels better.
It does feel good. And honestly, I mean, not trying to talk between the two, since we've driven the two back to back essentially recently. If you haven't seen the Cayenne S video, I don't know, I mean, not to speak ill of it, but this seems more suited, doesn't it?
Yep, I think it's the right amount of power. I think that's
what's more, it's more than the other one.
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm saying. Like,
and you're paying less, and it's a hybrid, and you're getting better gas mileage. Like, I'm not trying to speak ill of the Cayenne S. I mean, obviously it's a nice animal on its own, but why would you not want this?
I don't know. I mean, it's got a good argument for sure. I mean, it's not full out leather packaged, but that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's sport utility. It's not, don't get me wrong, it's not like some bargain basement thing in here. It's not, there's not plastics or anything like that in here. It's more of kind of just like, you're not getting the plush cowhide and stuff like that. You're getting more of a synthetic on some of the touch points, but there's a lot of leather. It's leather steering wheel, obviously, leather door grabs. There's still a lot of leather in here, but it's not one of those situations where you feel like you've got the bare bones base model.
Yeah, not at all.
How do you like these?
I do like the crest and the headrest. It's just one of those Porsche things. It's a
nice little touch, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like this one a lot. I think it's more of kind of, it's just the touches.
Yeah, it's more down to business is what it is.
Say I'm a business kind of guy. The business. Yeah, this car again, 99 miles. They trust us with all this stuff, and we thank, the Reeves family and Porsche of Tampa for supplying this car. Again, same layout in the middle. All of the touch points are that piano black, but they do have the clicking noises.
Yep.
I don't know if you can hear that, but yeah, that's super satisfying. It fills out this whole center section as we described before. This car has sports chrono. It has it on the wheel as far as Sport Plus and all that, the options. The Cayenne S did not have that on the wheel, which was odd, but obviously it's just a package.
It was probably because of the wood grain steering wheel.
Yeah, it was just the way. Yeah, it was the way it was packaged. So driving around town, I imagine, does it say on there how much you can go just on the hybrid? I mean, the battery life.
What the range is? I didn't.
Okay.
I don't think it did say it, but I remembered from the other ones. Like I said earlier, I think it's like 30-mile range.
Yeah. So essentially, I mean, if you live anywhere close to where you work, somewhat, you could go there on electric and not even use any gas there and back. Yeah. In most places nowadays, unless
plug it in.
Exactly. You work at the barracks or something, that most places have a plug-in network now.
Yeah, you get primo parking and you're saving gas money. So.
Win, win, win. And again, this has the pano roof, which sets a lot of light in here, which is huge because this is a full black interior. You definitely want to get some light in here if you can. And this definitely allows you to do that. Driving characteristics, obviously very similar to the Cayenne S, but also very different because this is a hybrid system, clearly. So the torque is instantaneous.
Yep, and it's also quiet when you stop.
Exactly. So the cross compare, obviously they're totally different vehicles. So far being in this, for majority of the day that we've been in it, I like this. I like the Cayenne e-hybrid better than I like the Cayenne S.
I would agree. I just spec wise, it's really good, and I know I haven't driven it yet, but from this side, it feels virtually the same. I mean, it's just as comfortable.
Yeah, and purely from a going green type of aspect, you have the option of going full electric mode on this and possibly getting, like we estimated, about 30 miles to the charge, or combined at 42. How could you? That's a man. If you're gonna buy an Porsche SUV, this is the one to buy because you're maxing out in every area, and you're not paying primo dollars. I mean, not granted, you could get there's a higher version. I mean, this is just the e-hybrid. I think you could get the turbo e-hybrid or something.
There's not an e-hybrid in the Macan, is there?
I'm not sure. Oddly enough, you'd think I'd know that, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't think so.
I think it's the only SUV you could buy e-hybrid.
Yeah. So why not this though? It does everything so well. If you're gonna have an SUV, it costs less than the other ones. It's just as nice inside. It gets better gas mileage. It has more power. I really having a hard time finding a reason not to buy this one.
Not to love this and already buy, yeah.
I mean, do you have a reason why? I mean,
no,
I can't think of one on the spot. I mean, if you guys can in the comments, let me know. Don't be a smartass and be like, oh, well, it's an SUV. We're talking SUV, so clearly it's where you need to mention it because of that. Like all the guys, the diehards out there, it's like, oh, I wouldn't buy it because it is an SUV. This is a super fun SUV. This is a very engaging SUV. as we mentioned many times before in the past, the cabin's very intimate, very sporty feel. The steering's very dynamic, and it's got tons and tons of power.
No, and I mean, it does have off-road capabilities. It has a button just for it. You can choose it. It's just like
it can tow.
Yeah.
You can put people in here. You can put pets in here.
Unlike some of the other reviews, you can actually haul furniture.
You can put beards in here.
Yeah, everything will travel.
So win, right? Absolutely. Aaron in the driver's seat. Yeah, doesn't really matter. I mean, we were talking a little bit off camera about this. We've really enjoyed the time in this one too, a lot. I mean,
yeah, it really is. It's been nice.
I think if I had to cross compare, since we've already done the Cayenne S video, if you guys watch that video, make sure that you go click in the link or whatever. I'd rather have this one than that one.
I really do agree with that. And having an e-hybrid's a good place to be. It's very calming, and I don't know if that's a weird thing to say or an enlightening thing to say.
Yeah.
But it being quiet, and it's nice.
It is. It's a definitely a great place to be. And then, as Aaron mentioned, we've talked about this in the past. When you go full electric mode, it really is kind of strange because it zens you out. You don't hear any engine noise. You're kind of just floating along, and it really does, for some reason. And we're not the first ones to say this, it really does bring down stress levels for some reason.
Yeah. I agree, 100%.
So the interesting thing about that, back to like we talked about, 40 plus miles to the gallon with this thing, it, as we described earlier, win. I really am having a hard time finding any faults with this.
Yeah, as much as we've looked. I mean, maybe plugging it in is one.
Forward camera.
Maybe plugging it in, maybe that's a fault. I don't know how long.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe charging. Yeah, I guess if you really have to be a bug about things, maybe if you're somewhere where it doesn't really get to charge up and then you don't get to take advantage of that, or yeah, I don't know. It just
20 miles a gallon, but
yeah. But you're reaching at that point. You're really looking for problems with this thing. There's so many things that this thing does well. Again, you could run on full electric charge if you live and work somewhere in a reasonable geographic distance from each other.
Oh, for sure. So, would you say that you probably did. I mean, have you even noticed the heads-up display? Is that something you can live without? Is that something you liked?
Yeah, honestly, I don't really care for them, to be honest with you. I'm not one of those people. I think some people, it's like anything, if you get used to it, there's a lot of people that once they get used to having it, they feel like they can't deal without it. I've been on the opposite side of that. I hardly ever have to have one because most of the cars I have don't have a heads-up display in it. So for me, I can definitely live without it. I find it more of an actual distraction, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I can see that. It is less distracting.
So that's my thoughts on it. I think even though this isn't, compared to the Cayenne S, that's the highest trim level package interior we were told that you could buy expensive wise, the club package. But even though this doesn't have it, I don't sit in here and think like, oh, I wish the interior was nicer.
No.
I don't have that want.
No, I agree. It's not a make or break situation with the interior being that $6,000 option or not. And I think where it definitely wins is the lack of turbos. To be honest,
yeah. The electric power.
It is that linear power. That's something I appreciate.
I agree with you. I'm with you on that. And then on top of that too, you're paying less for this, getting more power, and getting better mileage.
Yeah, I don't think we can say that enough, and we're just stressing it
because it is. It's so vital, right? It's so important. And honestly, I like the way this one looks.
Yeah.
As well.
I agree. With the matching, it's the gray, but the gray matches the wheel as well. Too.
Yeah, it looks very, very well. Good. Let's put it that way. And not to mention, it's got a gazillion off-road capabilities when you go into the infotainment, and it lets you pick sand, mud, whatever, gravel.
But you think it might be a little limiting being the hybrid, and it's not.
Mm-hmm.
In that respect, because it's still considered an off-road.
Yeah, again, I thoroughly enjoyed my time with this, and I'm sure you did. We give it's the business,
yep,
right?
All thumbs,
yeah, definitely. So we want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, do not forget to subscribe. That will help us out a ton. So hit the subscribe button below, notification bell. Tell your friends, tell your husbands, wives, children, everybody you need to tell.
Everybody.
Yeah, tell all the people. We definitely appreciate you guys tuning in, and we love you guys. We will see you on the next one.